Hi, I'm Gary Semix, and I'm happy to bring you my Motocross Technique video series, Volume 2, Number 4, Motocross Corner Speed, Beyond the Basics. I'm sure if you practice these techniques found in this video, you will become a better rider. The subjects that we're going to cover are, number 1, the foundation of speed and control, body movements and the use of the 5 controls, clutch and throttle, front and rear brake, and gear shift. Number 2, entry speed, exit decks, transition, exit speed on your line. Number 3, the effects of push and pull on the handlebar. Number 4, major techniques for when there is no berm. A, steer in and out of the corner with your rear wheel. Commit to power. B, steer with the brakes, steer with the clutch and throttle. And C, front wheel counter steering. Number 5, major techniques for when there is a berm. A, front wheel checks into the berm, rear wheel follows. B, inside leg position for max lean. And C, commit to lean. Number 6, for entering into a berm, lean the body to the inside first. Number 7, hold on to the bike with your legs. Number 8, where to look. And number 9, the power of focus. Okay, the first technique that we're going to be covering is body movements and the use of the 5 controls. That's where all your control comes from. I mean, there isn't anything else. That's it. There's a lot of techniques that go into body movements to maintain the center of balance at all times. And there's a lot of techniques that go into using the 5 controls of the motorcycle. Now, don't get me wrong here. Anybody that rides a motorcycle for a while knows how to use the 5 controls of the bike. But we're talking way beyond just using those 5 controls. I want you to understand how much of importance those 5 controls are on your control. Because besides your body movements, the only other thing that gives you control are those 5 controls of the bike. Of course, I don't mean just using them. Anybody can stomp on the rear brake. Anybody can grab some front brake, you know, turn the throttle, of course. But to be really good and have that ultimate control at speed, you have to have such good control of the clutch and throttle together, maybe the front and rear brake together, of course the gear shift to make sure you're in the right gear at all times. But the front and rear brake gives you so much more control of the bike, makes the bike handle a certain way, and then the clutch and throttle does the same thing. And this is at least half of your control. The other half is your body movements. But to be on the clutch and throttle just right at just the right time with that perfect control is key. And then the same way when you're braking. If you're not braking or accelerating, that means you're coasting. When you coast, you're giving up half of your control, because the brakes, the clutch and throttle make up half of your control of the bike. So we're going to describe that more and more throughout this video and show you how those techniques apply to maximum speed and control. Okay, let's see if we can analyze some of these riders. This is good and bad habits here. Here's a guy that's doing it good. He's coming into the corner, controlling everything with the brakes, and then he gets finished with the brakes at the transition and gets on the power hard right here, steers out of the corner with the rear wheel. Good body position, leaned into the corner just right, nice and fast in and out of the corner, right through the corner. Here's another guy that's doing it good. Now watch him again. He's coming in, he's controlling everything with the brakes up until this point. Front and rear brake, has a finger on the clutch, and controlling things. And then right here he's able to get off the brakes and onto the power. So he's controlling the bike in with the brakes and then controlling the bike out with the power. He's leaned over nice and far, has a center of balance, and he's able to carry a lot of speed through the corner, especially the transition, most critical part. Now this guy, he was a little bit off balance coming into the corner. Here you see him coming in, controlling the brakes, but he's leaning a little too far to the outside, a little bit off balance. Look at the comparison with the guy on the right. He's a little out of balance, so he can't get on the power hard to exit the corner. He ends up going a little bit wide. Can't steer out of the corner with the rear wheel. Just a little bit off balance there. Loses a little bit of time.